I should go to bed earlier. I should exercise more. I should cut out sugar. I should drink more water. Are you telling yourself what you should do all day, every day? The word should has become a fixture in our everyday language. It's very normal. We all do it. Okay, so you think you should do this and you should do that, but what do you actually want to do? We've been taught what we should want, but no longer know what we actually want, and we often confuse the two. It may seem harmless, but shoulding on yourself and others breeds guilt, procrastination, and even anxiety. Let me explain. When we should ourselves, we create a feeling of failure that we're not doing good enough. You have imposed upon yourself an idea of what ought to happen, and notice your current reality is not matching. Your current reality is not matching the idea of what reality ought to be. That creates tension.
Any ideas?
What you should be doing is conceptual. The problem with should is that it's packed with guilt. Should says, there is a possible reality that's better than this, and it's my fault that it's not. If someone was to say, I should exercise every day, implicit in the sentence is that the person thinks A, they should exercise every day, B, they definitely don't exercise every day, and C, they feel bad about it. Why do that to yourself? Within should, there is a seed of rebellion. I should I? Did you even want to do it in the first place? Are you doing something just to please others and others' standard? Why should you? According to whom? Which rule book? So, why do we use the word should so frequently in our day-to-day life? We use it for accountability and for motivation. I should do my taxes. I should meditate. I should forgive. I have always been interested in etymology of words, in their origins. The word should comes from shall or owe, as in I owe, he owes, or ought to be guilty, to get into debt. The language that we use for self-talk and externally to others either helps us become closer or further to self-empowerment and growth. The etymology of the word should originates from debt, guilt, I owe. No wonder each time we use this word, there is an energy of debt and guilt. This self-imposed, self-created debt that we ought to pay. Every should that we use adds another unpaid obligation. We use should for motivation, but research shows that self-criticism actually hinders motivation because it undermines self-confidence and leads to the fear of failure. A fear of failure can paralyze you or could lead to procrastination. So you see, we use the word should to motivate ourselves, but it has an opposite effect. In contrast, self-love and self-compassion boosts motivation because they generate an emotionally supportive environment needed for change. The things we think we should do often don't align with what we actually want. When you focus on what you should do, you don't connect to the power of possibilities. What do you want to do? What could you do? So, a good trick is to replace should with I could, I would like to, or I prefer. When you replace should with I could or I prefer, you're taking ownership. You have the choice to do or not to do that. It's up to you. Should means there is no choice. Should takes out the freedom of choice because there is only one reality that ought to be. Should comes with consequence. For example, I should work out every day. And if not, I'm lazy, I'm unhealthy. Could is neutral. Could gives you choice. It gives you freedom. With could, it looks at possibilities. There is no judgment attached to a could. I could work out every day. But if I didn't, that's okay too. I could start today. Another example. Instead of saying, I should clean my house, If you replace it with, I could clean my house, or I would prefer a clean house. But in case you didn't, you're not putting that guilt on yourself, and there's always the option to do it. Also, when you replace the word should with could or prefer, you find the true origin of your procrastination. When you add the word could and then ask yourself, why haven't you? Now you get the real answer. I could have cleaned my house, but I didn't.
Any ideas?
Why haven't you? I didn't have time. I didn't know where to start. I find it boring. I felt like taking it easy. Now there's a specific reason why you haven't done that, and therefore a solution can be found. It's a practice. Replacing should to yourself enables you to stay personally empowered. Replacing should towards others prevents that inappropriate sense of entitlement that provokes anger both within you and others. Life is about choices. You might be saying, but what about having goals? Shouldn't we should ourselves to drive ourselves forward? There is nothing wrong with having goals if it's based on something you genuinely want for yourself. It's great to have a focus to work towards and goals to measure your progress against. However, when we should ourselves, we undermine ourselves from the start. Instead of starting from a place of strength and empowerment, which almost certainly produces the best outcomes, we start from a place of less than, a minus, a place of not good enough. Should can get you results in the short term, but in the long term, they'll cause burnouts and procrastination. Instead, if we start from a point of, if I really wanted to, I could, fill in the blanks. Now you can ask yourself, what's stopping you? I believe we are powerful creators, but we must learn to harness that power. A creator chooses to use words that are empowering, creating power within choice, rather than a compulsion to do it. We must practice the skills that makes us a powerful creator. We are the ones creating our lives. Everything is a choice. Be kind to yourself and others. Please share your thoughts on this topic in the comments below, or any tips you may have. Please like, share and subscribe. It really helps a new channel like mine. Love to hear from you. Thank you and namaste. This is Niko on the moon.